Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure as head of the Membership Growth and Development Committee to welcome you all to this very first IMC Experience Exchange meeting. And let me say just a few words of introduction. The objective of the Membership Growth and Development Committee is, of course, to grow our members, so IMCs. It doesn't only mean to grow them in number, so as to welcome new countries into our memberships, but also and especially to enhance capabilities of existing IMCs. And these experience exchange meetings are aimed at doing exactly that, to accelerate the sharing of positive experiences so that more IMCs are learning faster and faster how to be better at what they do and to learn from the experience of others. Jose, my next slide, please. So we have a very simple agenda. I am going through point number one with these welcoming and opening remarks. Norma Shorey, the Vice Chair of the Membership and Development Committee, will explain the whys of these experience exchange initiative. We are going to be having two presentations today, one from IMC Russia and one from IMC Canada. And then, first and foremost, we are going to have a Q&A and a discussion among the present IMCs to further horizontal dialogue between IMCs, and then we will hear from you, your feedback. We are going to close and present you with the next steps. This is a first. We plan to hold other experience exchange meetings about the same topic, maybe, about other topics, certainly. And now time to me to give the floor to the soul behind this initiative. Norma, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Ruggiero, and good morning, everyone. Good morning, good night, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. So I wanted to put this experience exchange into perspective because our common goal and commitment is to build the management consulting profession. And one of our objectives in the Membership Growth and Development Committee is to facilitate sharing and learning between IMCs, as Ruggiero has already spoken. We recognize that IMCs across the globe, regardless of their size and regardless of their area of geography, we share many similar concerns, problems, challenges, opportunities. The question is, how do we maximize? How can we learn from each other to overcome the challenges and maximize the opportunities? So one of the things that we did in the last membership survey was to ask IMCs to highlight their strengths and the areas that they wanted to learn. And out of those, marketing, advocacy, and attracting new members came out as the top, without a doubt. That was one of the areas that was the key things that our IMCs wanted to gain. So, as Ruggiero said, our aim at the MDC is not only to get more IMCs, but to strengthen IMCs. And so this webinar is focused on highlighting some of the successful approaches that some of the IMCs have taken. And we have, as for those of you who are joining, there are 2 IMCs who will be presenting today, Russia and Canada. And they will highlight some of their successful approaches, but we will have an opportunity to have a Q&A and a discussion, because there'll be other things that other IMCs have been doing that you will want to share or ask questions about. So at this point in time, it is my pleasure to introduce the IMC Russia. Please share who is here from your team, and please be able to move forward and making your presentation. And I believe you have sharing privileges already.
Thank you, Norma. Now I share my screen. My name is Oksana Kovtun. I'm delegate from IMC Russia. I'm glad to invite to introduce my colleagues. Some of them you can see. Tatiana Lobanova, President. Now with me, Viktor Sontsev, Roshan Bakharel, Andrei Chizhov, Galina Frolova, Laysan Garifulina. Our approach to marketing is not classical, because all of us know the classical tools in marketing now is not work very well. And so our path from be visible to be useful. In marketing, it's path to benefits, but benefits not only for ICMC Russia members, not only, but for not members and ICMC, and the benefits for business the same. And now we discuss you about our technologies and tools. Marina Baranov, please.
Yes. And so we started our activities with a very important and very interesting program, which we called like a professional retraining program. And it started in 2019 with a partnership with some very well-known educational organization in Russia, St. Petersburg State Economic University. And first, but then in 2019, we started our co-working with the Plekhanov Russian University of Economy, because we were very interested in state standard diploma. And the professional retaining program we called management consultant. And we have 3 target audience for this program. First of all, it's for members who are not for consultants who are not members yet of National Institute CMC. And it is our external exchange, our expertise. And the second is target audience for consultant members of National Institute CMC. And the third is very important for business environment, for business communities. And so first of all, the program is based on practical examples of our leading consultants. And we should say that it is we continue the experience of our very well-known founder of School of Management Consulting, Arkady Prigozhin. And the program is based on his experience, first of all, and on his ethical norms and code, and also on his personal wisdom, if to be honest. And first of all, the students from this program, they have diploma, and the 3 kinds of diploma. The duration of the program is 1 year, and if the students were consistent enough for this 1 year, they receive diploma of state standard, diploma of Plekhanov University, diploma paper. If they took part only in 1 module of the program, they have certificate. And also we have the opportunity to have the diploma of international international CMC. And so what is the most important, that it is a very practical approach. And the 4 modules: organizational diagnostics, consulting tools, consulting skills, and marketing. And me, as a member of the National Institute of CMC, I took part in this year, and I was very excited because of the theory was included in solving practical cases and completing very practical tasks with real customers. And so the main benefit for participants is a real practical experience with real customers, and a theory just a little part, and like explanation more. And then, yeah.
Thank you, Marina.
Yes, and if you have some more questions, we will have additional information by the end.
I see. Tatiana Labanova, please tell us about Young People's Club.
Thank you. We started working with young people in 2019 in partnership with the Higher School Economics. This was a project work for students, but then it expanded and the number of students willing to devote themselves to consulting increased. Some group meetings attract up to 17 people. The goal and main idea of the project is to form a professional community of young management consult in the context of transition to digital industry. The topic of the meeting were determined by the students themselves. This especially like to analyze the soft practical cases. We did this using an example of current companies of today, not yesterday. That's why it was interesting. We looked at the different topics: principle and code of ethics consult, work-life balance, method and organization diagnostic, etc. Plus, everyone really liked the case championship, where there were cases in different areas of consulting: strategy, operational, production, personal marketing, etc. You see the result of the club work of the slide. There are both contact and education result. I won't repeat it. The main thing is development of practical knowledge of club members on consulting work procedure, development skills for implementing consulting project, and overall the result is increased awareness of National Institute CMC among students, and of course, love for consulting.
Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you very much. The next, I believe, interesting technology which we use in our institute is project management section. Viktor Sontsev, please, can you tell us about it?
I'm honored to present results of my colleagues from committees. I'm also the chairman of the committee for GR, but Vladimir is the chairman for the whole honorary president of our association, and he devoted a lot of time to young incomers, consultants who are preparing their cases in his section. So he's our scientific leader, and he helps all of us to present in project management standards our very intuitive and subtle consultancy music. So he is the one who is presenting notes for the orchestra of consultant. So we are discussing cases, we are promoting project management tools, and also we are trying to integrate project management into standard ISO because the project orientation of consultancy standards is, we all sure that it is. So the form of our evening meetings each month, each case is prepared for 1 month, and we are presenting our case for the jury, an expert, and we got a very nice feedback from our colleagues, and we are trying to implement PM project management technology in our practice, and also we are preparing our own new projects to be presented in this section for the young consultant who just coming into National Institute. So
Victor,
I'm very pleased to be involved in this activity, but also we are trying to implement scientific methodology in our approach, and thanks to Andrei Chizhov, who creates sort of a group of very talented people, and we are preparing sort of database and toolkit for our colleagues. Sorry. And when we are using the instrument of modern artificial intelligence and knowledge databases, we will try to assemble all elements of consultancy activity into a system, and using this methodology of knowledge base and artificial intelligence, we are trying to make our consultancy music to be more more adaptable to this changed reality. Thanks for new tools we are acquiring. We are trying to implement them also in our profession. So not only for young students, it is very interesting for them to implement artificial intelligence in our training program, but also we are implementing in our activity all the tools. Every member of National Institute CMC has a right to access materials which are implemented. It's much more than terabytes. So we are trying to create an atmosphere of creativity among newcomers, and also we are trying to attract our new clients of sort of trademark that all projects provided by CMC are based on modern methodology and modern tools, including artificial intelligence, including knowledge-based resources, and that is why I'm very pleased to be in the team. Hopefully, I understand how it attracts such consultants as me. By the way, I'm also involved in this activity because each my project is becoming better and better each time I introduce new instruments. So thanks a lot for opportunity to present results of our joint work of our several committees and the whole National Institute.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you about your emotion. Very emotional. Very emotional. The next step it's about our strategic session. We had many strategic sessions, but in this year it was very artificial. Please, Galina Frolova, tell us about it.
Hello, colleagues. In January 2024, the National Institute of Russia convened a strategic session with the primary goal to align in IMC Russia strategic objectives with the strategic initiatives of the ICMCI. Additional objectives included maximizing participant engagement and incorporating new members into committee work. This strategic session brought together 33 participants from 8 Russian cities. Participants were updated on the implementation of the previous strategic session's decisions, the committee's results and work plans, and engaged in networking and brainstorming activities. Collaborative efforts focused on defining IMC Russia's 3-year goals, strategic directions, and project development. The 1.5-day session, complemented by a cultural program provided by the Museum of Russian Entrepreneurship, fostered camaraderie, knowledge exchange, and networking opportunities, laying the groundwork for future collaborative projects. The session culminated in the formulation of goals across strategic areas, with committees currently refining a 3-year action plan. Such events are instrumental in maintaining IMC Russia members' engagement in the Institute's activities, contributing to increased membership and heightened participation. Thank you.
Thank you, Galina.
Yes,
Very grateful.
I summary. We set it on the main points of marketing, which allowed our institute to grow more than 3 times in 3 years. I repeat them. Program, professional training courses for consultants in collaboration with the University of Economics. Club of Young Management Consult, project management section, database of management consulting, strategic planning. All this created condition for the growth of membership of our institute.
Thank you, colleagues, for your attention. And now the questions.
Oops, sorry. May I suggest that we have the questions after both presentations, because I suspect that they may overlap. So thank you very much, Russia IMC. You've been very comprehensive in highlighting some of the activities that you're doing and how these enable your IMC to grow. And may I also now invite the IMC from Canada, and I believe that Donna is presenting, to share some of your experiences. And please, just while Canada is getting set up, at the end of this, we will ask you to complete a review form to help us to plan the next time. And as we speak, please identify your questions as the presenters are making their presentations, so that we can have a robust discussion at the end. So over to you, IMC Canada.
So thanks for having me today. And I have my colleague and CMC Global Delegate on the call with me today, Chris Harper.
And Donna, can you share what is your position, please, in IMC Canada?
Yes, I'm the Executive Director at CMC Canada. I've been here for 5 years, and in the past 5 years, we've been really focused on building the demand for the CMC. We realized that the more we would speak about the CMC to people, the more they would be interested in learning more. And there wasn't enough marketing, there wasn't enough information out there. And then to those who we did speak about it to or present to, they were interested in learning more. So we really built our strategy around building demand for the CMC, informing both the outside market and internal CMCs, providing them the resources to grow within their communities as well. So today I will share a few programs that we've launched over the last number of years and some of the successes that have come out of them. So our strategic plan was really based on 3 pillars, and we've really stuck to those 3 pillars, which was promoting the designation and the profession, evolving our membership base and our marketing and just our foundational strategies to ensure that we were all together within Canada. So Canada is comprised of the National Association and also the Provincial Institute. So really getting people and everybody involved and under the same umbrella to work collaboratively towards a common goal to inevitably grow our membership. So what we decided to start with was why the CMC. A lot of people didn't know. It was the best kept secret of the certified management consultant. Why earn it? Why hire? Why work with the CMC? So there was a lot of questions that we had to answer within our own networks and within our target groups as well. So we did a lot of website improvements. We narrowed down the searches. We really focused in on some targets. We created some videos. We ensured that information was relatively accessible, excuse me. We came up with innovative and strategic programs to ensure that the CMC sometimes can be seen as a bit confusing to obtain, and it doesn't have to be. And so we wanted to ensure that we were better informing, better transferring the knowledge of step 1 to becoming a CMC. And that seemed to work really, really well. So we increased conversations, we increased conversion rates. We had over 100,000 people come to our website in January alone. January is a time where you take a look at, getting healthier, improving your professional development. And so we really took some certain times in the calendar year to drive professional development among consultants and also drive the message on why we went out with a campaign. And we really focused in on advocacy in the last year on why hire a CMC. So we kind of focused in on two sides. One, internally, and providing our CMCs the tools, the knowledge, the resources in terms of spreading the CMC information within their networks. We added a lot of value to our members as well to ensure that they'd come back, because we renew membership on an annual basis. And then we focus on the external market as well. Why hire a CMC? Why work with a CMC? And for consultants, why become a CMC? And so we really had to elevate our awareness in the marketplace. So we focused on that. We created a few, among the changes that we've made to our website, we created a few really flat sheet journey resources to ensure that people could see the steps on becoming a CMC and to see that it wasn't that difficult, regardless of where you're starting off, if you're starting off as an executive or if you're starting off as an entry point person. So these flat sheets helped a lot. It helped answer a lot of questions. There is lots of questions, I'm sure you can all agree, in terms of the process on becoming a CMC, but we can facilitate and ensure that the information is more clear and simple. A lot of the the internal languages that we utilize isn't quite necessary in the marketplace. So we wanted to ensure that this simple message would come across. So these are just a few of the flat sheets that I wanted to share with you today in terms of really highlighting and putting yourself in somebody's shoes where they would fit in order to become CMC designated. So we have our different streams here. They could see where they could fit in. And then, you know, once they saw where they could fit in, they would start this journey towards earning it. So I'll highlight a few of the programs that have brought us success over the years. We realized that we had a lot of people who were streamed, so who identified their stream, who provided their resume, and who wanted to become CMCs and where to start. And we thought that first working with the experience and the executive folks would be great because they have a shorter journey to becoming a CMC. So we created a CMC executive program. And essentially what that does is it condenses the CMC requirements into 2 to 3 days, depending on the program style. And so we work with the cohorts. So we've created cohorts as well in terms of ensuring that everybody within the program has a similar background so that it really facilitates the process for ourselves and for the CMCs. So they get all the essential requirements within the short time frame while maintaining the integrity of the process. So we never wanted to minimize how becoming a CMC, but we wanted to ensure that it was coordinated and it was facilitated and streamlined. So this program, we have about 3 of them a year, and that's open to everyone. And then we often have cohorts within certain firms that have enough CMCs, or excuse me, consultants within a firm who want to become CMCs, and they go through this program here. So we launched it in 2021, and we have over 100 new CMCs through this program. And so it's just about ensuring that whoever is part of your umbrella, your tent, that you coordinate them into groups and that you provide them the services, the program that they need in order to become CMC designated. We worked a lot on our marketing. And at the beginning, it was a lot about ensuring that the people, how I started this presentation, why the CMC. Then we realized that we were getting so much traffic and so many people were becoming members, but now what to do with them. So that's why these programs were created, to ensure that once they did become members, how would they then become CMC certified in an efficient and effective way. So that was one of the programs that we've launched. And as I mentioned, we host about 3 of them a year. And then the firms do also come in and integrate the program into their firms privately as well. And then we made a few strategic partnerships. We focused on large firms. So this has been a great evolution in Canada. A bit of history is in the 90s and before the 90s, large firms, you would get a job at a large firm, and then the large firm would hand you over a folder and how to become a CMC. But then large firms started to create their internal professional development, and they got away from the CMC over the last 20 to 25 years. There's been a few instances with some consulting, we call it a front page problem, and I'm sure you all have it locally as well, in terms of some of the large firms not quite conducting ethical business. And in Canada, that's really resonated with some CMCs who work within these large firms, and they really wanted to demonstrate their ethics and their code of conduct and their foundational knowledge in the CMC environment and bring that in-house. So we've had a few internal CMC partners within these firms that wanted to bring the CMC back into the firms. And so this was launched in 2021. So what we did was we piloted with EY, was our first large firm. And we had a group of CMCs that went into EY and went through their internal professional development to find equivalencies towards earning the CMC designation. So very similar to the executive program, But what we did was we took some of their internal professional development that was already based on the CMC from years ago anyway, and we integrated the CMC methodologies and foundational learnings within their professional development in order to provide them a streamlined approach and program towards earning the CMC. And since the first partner, EY, came through, we have KPMG and MNP right now as other large firm partners, and we're working with others. And the same process continues in terms of a group of CMCs who are well educated and informed in the CMC foundational methodologies and so on and so forth, go in and they determine the equivalency programs within the large firms. And so we have our point person within each large firm, and then we have an agreement, and we have a consistent flow of partners and people within the firm that come through to earn their CMC on an annual basis. So also a great funnel in, and also a high level program that speaks a lot in terms of the partnership that's possible within large firm consulting in Canada and also within the CMC designation. Another area is the future of this profession, which is the students and the young professionals. And so this academic partner program has been around for several years, but it's now gaining new ground, new interest. And essentially we're seeing this, and I'm sure you're seeing this in your countries as well, is that there's a greater interest among young professionals to go into the consulting profession right away. Traditionally, we've seen consulting comes after once someone works within a firm or works within a business for a number of years, and then they either go on their own, and it happens in the experience phase. But as we all know, there's an experience component to the CMC designation as well as an academic component. And so seeing this opportunity, we thought, why not get in front of the academics of somebody who's aspiring to be a consultant? And so we've partnered with leading universities across Canada, similarly to the large firm program, is to insert the CMC curriculum within their university program. So while they're going through their degrees, they're also checking off marks towards earning the CMC designation. And as you can see, this creates a nice ecosystem because the large firm partners and the academic partners are working together. Large firm are hiring students who are CMC trained and who need the experience in order to become CMCs. So the ecosystem that we've created here is very attractive among students, and students are looking towards these programs within their universities because they want to get hired by the firms, and the firms are looking to partner with the universities because they want to hire good talent. And so there's mentors within this program, within the university, but also mentors externally through large firm partnerships. And in the last 18 months, we launched a title, CMC Canada. We're piloting it right now across Canada in a few different pockets. And what that is as a person becomes streamed and they've shown interest and commitment towards earning the CMC designation, we realized that there was a gap there in terms of if you're working towards a CMC designation, you can't really promote yourself or inform people that you're doing so before becoming a CMC. So we wanted to provide a title to those people to demonstrate that while they're working towards becoming a CMC, that they can promote themselves as such. So we launched the CMC candidate for folks that are working towards the CMC designation, and that as well is increasing the marketing, increasing the promotion within the marketplace. People see CMC and people see CMC candidates. So it's very informative, both for the brand and both for individuals that they can promote themselves as working towards earning the CMC designation. Just an overview of the process on how an academic partner becomes an academic partner. So just quickly, they show their interest, and then we meet with them in the blue here, and then always CMCs do the equivalency. We don't touch the equivalency. CMCs come in, go through the equivalency, they assess the programs, they ensure that the program has the requirements that are in line with the CMC curriculum. And then we go through an agreement, we implement, and then we launch and nurture. So this nurturing is really important too, because on an annual basis, we have between 400 and 500 students that are within the academic partner programs. And so we have to ensure that those students move on towards the institute, right? So there's a lot of work that goes on for us in the nurture cycle, but at least we have that consistent funnel, or that opportunity of the consistency of the funnel into the designation, into the organization. We keep things really simple here too. We don't want to overwhelm students. They're going through their degrees, and so really they have free membership within this program. We thought that that was key in ensuring that they would stick around, is have free membership, show them the value, show them the community, the networks, the opportunities, determine their stream. There's a lot of students that go back to school, and so they are experienced folks, and then they can start their journey towards earning their CMC. We currently have 6 academic partners, and we have 3 that are about to be confirmed as well. So this program is going very, very well, and it's growing by the year because of the interest that we see amongst young professionals within the consulting community. Lastly, I'll speak about advocacy. So for the last 16 months, we've gone on a journey towards advocating for the CMC designation. So we can grow all we want, but we have to ensure that people are aware of the CMC designation, of the CMC and the profession, that there's an ethical group of certified or management consultants who are certified, who abide by a code of conduct, and who have all the rigor and the professionalism within designation. And so we hired a government relations firm, and it is the best decision we've made. They've really supported our work in communicating and connecting with key policy and decision makers at the Canadian government to ensure that we're raising the knowledge, informing them, raising the awareness of what a CMC is and how they work, and why they should pay more attention to the CMC designation. And this is deemed such success. Every meeting I meet with members of parliament, and every meeting they want to know more. They didn't know about the CMC, and their common response is, why aren't we working with you more? And so lots of letter writing, lots of opportunity to provide articles in key newspapers, and it's really gained a lot of momentum across the country, because we're doing this at the federal level. So at Canada, at the government of Canada, but also our provinces are doing so within their provincial jurisdictions. So for example, CMCs within Alberta are meeting with MPs, or MLAs, I should say, in Alberta. So we're not duplicating efforts. We're really working under the same umbrella and utilizing some best practices so that we can advocate for the CMC both on the national and provincial levels. And just 2 weeks ago, so this is a highlight of this year, is we hosted our first ever Day on the Hill. And so what we had was 25 CMCs came to Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada, and the Parliament buildings and Parliament sits in Ottawa. And we had a collective effort to go on to Parliament Hill and meet with key MPs, decision makers, and advocate for the CMC, inform the CMC. A lot of these meetings, 75% of these meetings were of great success, where the MP or the senior official, government official, wanted to know more and wanted to work with us on whether integrating some CMC requirements within government tenders, and there was a lot of opportunity there to ensure that the CMC was instilled in some of the procurement, because this is where we're seeing a lot of the issues within Canada and across the globe in terms of governments working with unethical consultants and unethical firms. So we want to make sure that they are aware that there are ethics behind the CMC designation. And that's it.
Wow,
you.
thank you so much, Donna. That has really been extremely helpful and useful, both our presentations from Russia and Donna. Please give a hands up to both IMCs who have presented in this. Give a hands up, thumbs up. Thank you so much. Excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a short time for questions and comments, and you can put your questions in the chat. We will monitor the chat, but you can also ask your questions directly. What I would ask, though, is that when you ask your question, just indicate your name and which country you're from. So, over to our plenary discussion.
I need to highlight that there is already a question in the chat.
Yes, thank you.
And it is from Toya. Toya is the delegate of IMC Mongolia. And her question was put in during the IMC Russia presentation. The question is, who finances the consulting with learners, students? So maybe Oksana or anyone from IMC Russia can answer that question.
Marina, could you answer?
Yes, and so the question is about who pays actually, yeah, for consulting with the learners, students. So who pay for whom? Students, they pay themselves because this program is not for free. Yeah, this program is commercial, and so the students, they pay themselves for education for this program. And from the point of view of the teachers, of the leading consultants who lead this program, because they share their experience and so on. From my point of view, their main benefit is this opportunity, this possibility to share their experience and to take this chance to give the young consultants, to share with young consultants their experience and their love to consulting. So because I was the participants of this module, I was just finished in April, and I can justify that really the very way how they are telling about their experience is extremely exciting. And so I guess that the teachers, the leading consultants, they receive the most important salary is respect and admiration. Because we were admired really by them.
Okay.
It's from this point of view. From financial point of view, of course, I guess Tatiana can explain more about that from financial point of view and some kind of fees for teachers.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone that has a question?
There's another one in the chat actually from Vilbey Faith. And I think it is for CMC Canada because it says with students joining, are they paid membership or not?
No, we decided students already have debt towards earning their degrees within their universities, and this is an add-on to them. This is a capstone opportunity. And so non-academic partner students have a $25 membership fee, but academic partner students have a free membership with us.
Excellent.
Thank you, Donna.
And believe me, it's worth it. There's sometimes people that might see that it's a missed opportunity, but in the long run, it's very much worth it.
Right.
It's vision. That's what we can say. And sorry, Norma, but there's another question, and it's from Rogero to CMC Canada. What kind of resources did you need to start the strategic program with large firms? Who did the assessment, planned the alignment of large firms, professional development systems with the ones of CMC Canada, ICMCI? I believe you already mentioned that it's CMCs who did that, but the question is, are they volunteers? Are they paid? Maybe you can elaborate, Donna.
Yes, thank you. So we realize that our greatest force and advocates are the CMCs themselves. And so we really, when we started on this journey to building demand for the CMC in Canada, we went to our champions. And why look any further than CMCs themselves? And so CMCs are within these large firms. And if your institute is anything like ours, these CMCs are getting older and older. And so we have to strike now in terms of bringing in some CMC equivalency and the framework within firms now, because some CMCs are starting to retire. And so it was really the internal CMCs that helped facilitate this. And then external CMCs were brought together, volunteer, and they perform the assessment.
And my question, linking on to that, because Rogera asked that key question in terms of, yes, using the CMCs, but did you get specific funding to be able to work along with the academia, with the strategic partnerships and also with the government? Did you get specific funding in that regard?
So in terms of the large firm equivalency framework work, there is a fee to this. We can't just, and this is a lengthy process in terms of getting CMCs within firms and assessing the equivalencies to the CMC. So there is a fee to that. So there is funding in terms of ensuring that this program has legs to stand on. And so the firm pays that fee. In terms of the advocacy work, we pay them to do the work in partnership on our behalf. So yes, there is a fee paid. It's a monthly retainer that we work with the government relations firm. Thankfully, the key consultant there is going through to becoming a CMC. So we're trying to keep this all in-house or advocate as who we work with as well. So it's not a lot of money, and I would really encourage everyone to seek a government relations firm locally to really, this is their craft. This is what they do. They know the people within Parliament, within government, and they really help facilitate conversations.
Norma, if I could just add on to Donna's comment quickly. One of the things I observed as an outside party, and maybe isn't as visible to Donna, but is not a member of our national board, that continuity across boards was so critical to these types of programs, making sure that a new board doesn't come in and completely change the direction and have us go back to zero. And so having a plan that we committed to and that we had continuity on it, as an outside observer to the board, that felt like really critical to us actually achieving our results. So I just wanted to share a different perspective from outside of our national organization as well.
Great. Now, I'm just very conscious of the time. We have finished an hour, but for those of you who can stay on, we would be happy to have any more comments. And we would also appreciate any comments from the other IMCs who have not necessarily presented. But is there something in there out of your own best practice that you would like to share?
I need to highlight that Tatiana has her hand raised, so maybe.
Okay, sorry, I didn't see that.
You need to say something?
Yes, Tatiana, please.
Thank you. This question with Donna or Christopher, collaboration with a big consulting company, KPMG, Ernst & Young, etc. Is it a partnership or competition from consults, CMC, for your institute?
It's a partnership. It's viewed as such, and that's a great question because even local CMCs ask that question. It's a partnership. If you think about it, we're collectively coming together to ensure that we have one voice and we're advocating on behalf of the CMC designation. So it isn't a competition viewed within the firms. I mean, now that we have a few firms, the other firms who are not CMC partners want to become, so we're in a good position, which is great. But at the end of the day, we're growing our network to ensure that stakeholders are aware of this designation and aware that there are ethics and rigor and professionalism within the profession. And just, I see a few questions to me directly, and I just want to, for those who have to drop, I can stay on for a few more minutes, but we're always happy to share. I've been saying this for 5 years, and I'll continue to say it, is any of these programs, if they're of interest to you, please connect with me. Happy to share some of the foundational resources and hand you over some of the programs to ensure that you can implement them locally. They're really successful programs that have really turned this organization around in Canada. So I'd be happy to share with anyone who's interested.
Excellent, thank you. Now,
Thank you.
I think that there's some people that will definitely need to go, and there's some people that will need to stay on. So I don't know, Rogero, if you would like to just close off officially, and then we can stay on for those who would like to stay on a bit. Rogero?
Well, I can do that by all means, saying that first and foremost, our thanks go to IMC Russia and IMC Canada to share their experiences in a very thorough way, and we are very happy with the success of this initiative, given the number of participants. And well, let me say, stay tuned for next editions of these exchanges, maybe along the same lines, certainly along other topics relevant to the profession. And well, thank you to everyone, and let me extend you my best wishes for a productive rest of the week.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Rogero. But that Rogero has officially been able to close off. But I have a number of questions, and I would love to hear from some of the other IMCs, some of your own best practices that you think are worthy of sharing in this forum. Please remember that there is a feedback form in the chat, but we will also send it to you by email. So you will get it by email, so you don't have to necessarily pick it up in the chat. But we would love to get your feedback and any further ideas that could enable our Management Growth and Development Committee to support your efforts. Okay? So on that score, are there other IMCs that would wish to share some of their own experiences or link that up to what both Russia and Canada have shared? Do we have any take?
Lydia raised her hand, Norma.
Yes,
so
go ahead. Yes, I can't see everybody.
But I need to ask a question first, because I already received it by email. There are certain people from some IMCs who weren't able to join us, and they were asking if we should share with them the recording of this meeting. So I need to ask Donna and Tatiana or Oksana if it's okay to share the recording, because that would kind of give them access to the presentations as well. So I need your approval in order to share that.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, thank you. Tatiana?
Thank you very much.
Beautiful, lovely,
Bye.
lovely.
Please go ahead, Lydia.
Okay, thank you so much, IMC Russia and IMC Canada for sharing. This is extremely useful. Now, I'm actually from IMC Singapore, and we are really a very, very tiny country. All right, we have only 5.5 million people. So can you imagine, compared to Canada, which is close to 40 million, we are really peanuts. Okay, in short, I like to share our style of recruiting CMCs. We create 2 levels of consultancy. One we call the registered management consultant, and then we have the certified management consultant. Now, for the registered management consultant, these are young consultants, and they are trained by us. And to date, over, I would say, about 8 years, we have trained about close to 400 junior consultants. But they are really fit to go into the market. And the junior consultants, actually, we have got government recognition. As a result, all our junior consultants that go into industry are able to get 70 to 80% funding from the Singapore government. So it's very effective. Now, what we hope to do is to, or we have been doing, use the RMC as low-lying fruits for them to progress to CMC. Now, the journey is slower because our CMC is very stringent. You know, they need 3,600 consulting hours to qualify for CMC. So it's very stringent. So our methodology is very different from the other countries. I could talk a lot more, but in the interest of time, I think I just want to share that. Thank you.
That is lovely, Lydia. And you see, each of our IMCs have slightly different processes. The ICMCI standard is the standard, but in terms of how we get there, how we bring in of our younger and our newer consultants, there are so many opportunities that we are not necessarily aware of. So I'm really pleased to hear some of these options that we can all utilize or consider. Are there any more questions or comments? Okay.
I need to say that actually Nsambi has her hand raised. So maybe we should give the floor to Nsambi for any questions.
Nsambi, yes. Thank you very much, Rima. I'm not able to see everyone at the same time. Go ahead, Nsambi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. It has been such an enriching experience. Thank you, Russia and Canada, for those insights, because as a fledgling organization, CIMC, we are composed of members from across the Caribbean region. And we have learned so much from what you have done. And as we plan for our growth, we will definitely be taking some insights from you. One of the things we have found to work very well for us is the ISO 20700 training. What we do is that we promote it and we use a net fishing approach where we send it, market it to consultants, non-consultants, aspiring consultants, and procurers of consulting services. And we have found from that process that we get a lot of members signing up to become members, and many of them indicating that they want to become CMCs. And so we share with them the journey to CMC. And we just had one recently at the end of April, and we have another 2 scheduled for this year. And we are hoping to see the growth. And our goal is to have more CMCs than Russia has at this point in time. Thank you so much for a wonderful experience exchange.
Thank you very much, Nsambi. And let me also add that one of the things that I really think that we need to focus on is getting our younger consultants who are linked into our universities. And I love the initiatives that have been taken both by Russia and by Canada to be able to capture the interest of our younger consultants. That's, I think, where the growth point is. That we need to consider. And let me say, Lydia, you have a small country of 5 million people. In the Caribbean, we are how many across across our region in Barbados? We have a big population of 300,000.
Wow!
No, in Barbados, not the whole region. The whole region is more. But I'm just saying, we have there's a lot that we can do.
Different quality.
All right. Is there any other question or any comment? sorry, and I would ask the other IMCs, are there some things that you are doing that you would like to share?
Victor just raised his hand.
Yes, go ahead, Victor.
I'm really pleased to be involved in this discussion, and also I wish to make our corner, by the way, CMC corner, CMC Global Institute corner of consultant is also a new platform for gaining our experience together, not only in the field of marketing, but in the field of our professional activity. And also we hope that we can create sort of joint team, international team involving all participants from other institutions who are friendly to us, to our business. So make our corners bigger. Thank you.
Right, beautiful. Thank you very much. And anyone from another part of the world? And Zombie, go ahead again.
Thank you very much. Mine is a suggestion. And the suggestion is to really make ICD, International Consultants Day, a big marketing event right across the world. Over the last 3 years, we have been making it a conference. We've made it free for participants. We've had some excellent speakers, wonderful topics that develop our consultants and provide opportunities for them. Last year, we focused on the orange economy. This year, our conference is on exploring new frontiers, consulting opportunities in the blue and green economy, because those are so relevant to our environment. We are opening it right across the world. We are going to be inviting IMCs from across the world to participate in it, and we're going to be using the Zoom webinar platform. ICD can become a platform to attract a number of members into the IMCs. And I really do think it might be a missed opportunity that we are not maximizing it as much as we ought to make it a rich marketing experience and to attract new members and to develop our existing members.
Absolutely. And I think that each of the IMCs does something on International Consultants Day. And is there any way in which our collaborative energy, each person can have their own, but is there any collaborative energy that could really generate even wider interest across our regions? Well, we have certainly had an extremely productive discussion, lots of good ideas and thoughts, things that we can do, things that we can maximize, because ultimately what we want to do is to get not only greater recognition for our profession, but also we want to get people valuing the skills, the competencies that we can bring to the development of our societies. I really thank you for your participation here today. I thank especially Canada and Russia for the insights you have shared that we can utilize and draw on. And I really ask if you would complete our evaluation form. As I said, it's in the chat, and we will also send it out to you by email. We invite you to complete it and give us some suggestions as to what it is you would like to see to benefit you and your IMC as we move forward to strengthen our profession. So on that, Ruggiero, Ruggiero or Rima, would you like to add anything?
No, there is nothing more to be added since I closed the session before. But again, thank you everyone for your participation, for the very thorough information shared, and let's all take advantage of it and speed up down the learning curve.
Beautiful. Thank you, everyone.